Right. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
We are back once again for
Getting
live
there.
SEO support, your friendly weekly live stream where we help you with anything SEO related that we may know the answer to.
Yeah, we'll try our best.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat or the comments wherever you're watching.
We've gathered some that we've accrued. Yeah.
Hey, go turn your
Yep.
technical difficulties once again.
What was that, like 20 seconds?
I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the questions. And yeah, if you got any, just go ahead and drop them in the chat and we will eventually get to you. All right, when do you update your disavow file?
You want to start it off or you want me to?
I don't mess around with disavow files, actually. It would have to, I mean, basically the way that I build links, I haven't had a need to do a disavow file, and I've never basically had like a spam attack or something that I thought was really worthy of a disavow file. The only cases I would really use a disavow in, or I would recommend a disavow is if, we were, for example, taking over someone's site in our managed link building program and they had really dug themselves into a hole building a bunch of really low quality stuff or spammy stuff, then I might recommend it. But yeah, it's generally not something it's kind of like a last case scenario as far as the way I see it, like a panic button or like things are completely messed up button.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you that it's not something that I would just jump to. So in consideration of a question like when do you update it? It's not so much something that I look at updating as much as it's a tool, like Chris said, if we've got an MLB person that's come to us. Typically, that's still not going to be the first recourse of action. So let's say we get a new client in with MLB or just auditing a site in general. When we look at the backlinks, when we look at what's going on, if they've got a sharp decline in traffic or organic rankings, what we'll look at after is the backlinks profile, the anchor text profile, and we'll kind of see what's going on there, what's wrong. A lot of times you can remedy or find a solution if you're going to continually add backlinks by either breaking up anchors, diversifying the link profile, or working an angle like that. Like Chris said, if you've got a really strong link profile, a lot of times spam's going to come in and it might actually only boost your rankings. We're dealing with that currently where, it's pretty regular that I'm monitoring what's going on and just continually making the decision not to disavow because, we want that positive influx in the SERPs. And sometimes utilizing a disavow file, the human side of us is going to inhibit us from thinking kind of like a robot, and we're gaming an algorithm here. So, you don't want to make the mistake of saying, oh, that looks spammy, and then actually disavowing certain assets that were, giving you a positive influx in the SERPs. So, I would say be hesitant to use a disavow file, and the only time you'd want to use it is when you've, like Chris said, exhausted all other resources. So you've started a steady content and good backlinking campaign. If month after month you're not seeing an ability to climb up, maybe you're plateaued or you're just continually going down, then it might be time to add a disavow file and just make sure that you're adding actual negative links
And
to that.
if you are doing a disavow file, you can update it as much as you want. I mean, you can update it every day if you wanted to.
Mhm.
I wouldn't do it every day. I'd probably do it, I don't know, once a week or something if I was like really worried about something and really wanted to stay on top of it. It's not hard to do. It's something you can do pretty quickly. Yeah, so if I was doing it, I don't think I'd ever do it more than once a week, once every 2 weeks, something like that.
And word of caution, if you're going to like Fiverr or something like that and looking for an audit, a lot of times they're overly aggressive based on, using random metrics like Moz spam score and things like that, which, if you've been following us for a while, we're not big on. Just, paying attention to any specific metric is like a indicator of health.
All right, let's go to the next one. How to rank a service website. So normally when people are talking about service websites, they're generally talking about local sites, right?
I would think so.
I'm gonna go ahead and get Paintbrush out. So how do you rank a service website, Nick?
The same way as any other website. It's like the pinky in the brain saying only here it's for links.
So I'm getting out Paint because so like basically when I have a service website, you generally kind of like have your home page. Depends how many services you have really, but generally kind of have your home page. Let's just say you have one service, one main service, right? For example, you're a locksmith. So here's your home page right here. Where's my mouse? I cannot see it.
Me either.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Yeah, so this is your home page. And so you would build a bunch of links to your home page. Like your citation, well, I won't say citations yet, but a lot of like directories, a lot of like your pillow links, right? As well as just other stuff like guest posts, whatever. You just build a ton of links to your homepage. But when you're building it to your homepage, you'll want to make sure you get relevance for your service. So if you're a locksmith, you would build a ton of links to your homepage that really have to do with locksmithing, right? And then you'd have basically a locations hub page or whatever, and your location pages coming off of those. And then you'd make sure the relevance for these, when you build links to these separate location pages, you would really hammer them with location specific relevance, right? So if your one of your locations was in, where's my mouse? Why can I keep not seeing it? There we go. So if like, for example, this location was Austin, you'd really theme this relevance wise. The backlinks coming to this page would really have something to do with Austin and locksmithing, but basically you just really hammer the homepage for your service, and then you can get more location relevance in your links for your location pages. And yeah, it just kind of filters down, right?
Yeah, sure. To add to that, you could do geographic bound support pages here, linking back to your geographic specific pages, things like that. Of course, you're going to have services pages as well, so the types of services you provide, which are going to branch out the same way as the geographic relevance ones. And then let's not forget that as far as local and services pages, one of the biggest ones that you're going to be able to get is if you've got a physical address, because then you're going to be able to get into the map pack, which, it's the same thing. You can send backlinks to your homepage that'll resonate, depending on the size of the metro. Personally, I would say that local is a lot easier unless you're in a very competitive metro or in competitive services. But yeah, they all kind of rank the same, only you're going to want to add geographic relevance as well as, broad-shaped relevance. So, that comes handy with things like citations, etc.
I guess we can go back to this real quick. So yeah, you would, so you really hit your homepage with niche relevance, and then you hit your location pages with niche relevance and location relevance. And of course, you're going to want to build citations and stuff, GMBs for each specific location page like that. And, like Nick said, if you have multiple services, if you have an actual services page with multiple services like that, you would just build specific relevance for each one of those services as far as backlinks go, with more general relevance to your homepage. Are we missing anything? I feel like most people probably.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's like the most ideal way. Now, can you venture off and get non-niche relevant stuff and gain benefit? Yeah, absolutely. But in an ideal world, this is
The optimal
Yeah,
way.
the quickest way to win.
All right. Let's go and see what's next.
Let's do the the GMB one since we just talked about that.
All right. Anyone have any luck ordering Gmb verification recently? So yeah, in case you don't know, so Gmb is Google My Business, and basically to get a Google My Business verified address, you generally, if you have a local site, it's something that is very important. If you want to rank in the map pack, you need it. If you want to rank on maps and in the map pack at the top of the search page.
Yes, it,
And yeah, so people, without an address, basically, many times they want to get GMBs set up, but they don't have an actual address that they can verify through Google. And so there are, or at least there used to be, ways to get them verified. How's that stand currently at
so I haven't seen
March
anybody.
2021?
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody really being able to deliver on that, and it seems like there's a lot of complaints around the services that used to provide it. I would say it's been pretty well sniped out. Even a post office hack that used to be available, where you would make a PO box respond to the address of the actual post office. That doesn't work anymore. So, Google's caught on to the fact that people want these GMB listings, especially, people trying to rank in a lot of geographic areas, working for like affiliate, pay-per-call type services. So, since then it's been really hard. So, as far as I can see right now, it's find addresses in those specific areas that are willing to receive a postcard, because that's how it works. Is Google's just going to send you a postcard to a specific address, then you'll input that into Search Console and or into Google My Maps, and it'll give you your listing, verify your listing. So for now, if you wanted to try and figure out how to get a bunch of these geographic locations, then you'd have to do some sort of outreach campaign, maybe through something like Craigslist, etc., where you'd find people willing to accept a postcard on your behalf, probably for some kind of monetary exchange. But I would say as far as just going to a website and paying for them now, those listings seem to have fallen off.
Do you know anybody that still says they're providing them?
I'm not sure.
They used to be everywhere, and I haven't seen them around really anywhere at all anymore.
I read one today where a guy was talking about it, and two websites just they're not taking orders, and then the one he'd put an order in through said they couldn't complete. So just
there started becoming a problem getting GMBs verified. Maybe was it like a year or two ago?
Probably like a year ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that it used to be actually really easy.
Yeah.
And you could just go nuts getting GMBs verified and
there
really
was
setting up a web for like a service-based company.
Granted, there was a lot of, several waves of a lot of those getting dropped, depending on how the person was sourcing that, or
Yeah, they were catching on to it, and it became harder and harder over time to the point where it became I don't know. We can't recommend anyone that could get them done, and you have to look into like Nick said, doing some kind of outreach, trying to find people that would actually be able to verify an address for you. Maybe someone in other cities. That would probably be your best option. Like if you actually know somebody somewhere.
Or like I said before, if you find a listing that doesn't have a website attached to it, that is in the map pack, and maybe it doesn't take calls, you can tell it's kind of a dead listing. You and some friends can go ahead and admit a what are they having on there, like an amendment to the listing, and you can
Talking about
amend
claiming it.
Yeah, claiming. There we go. So you can claim the listing essentially, and I've done that a couple times and still have the listings.
I'm disappointed in you.
Well,
How
I mean,
could you?
they get like 3 emails basically, and possibly even phone calls saying somebody's requested access to this listing. They're saying it's not you anymore, and if you don't respond over X amount of time, depending on the listing, then yeah, it gets given away. I
All
actually just got
right.
one of those for a different website I own.
The only comments I'm getting on my blog are spam. Should I continue to block them? It looks like my blog isn't getting read because of no comments. Um, you know, I don't, I've never really done testing as far as, actually allowing some comments to be posted on the site and, testing versus a page that is having no comments on it and if that actually
I'd say it
has any effect.
helps.
Have you done any testing with it?
No, not specific to like a test website, but when you run like, I would order comments to specific assets, you would definitely notice that the thing is, that can increase something like keyword density, or it can act as a factor that says this page is being used, right?
Yeah,
And I would think it's both of them.
I could definitely see how like Google would be like, it's almost like a review in a way, right? It's someone that's not you interacting with your site
Right.
and kind of contributing to it. I just haven't really done any testing, but what you can do is if you're getting a lot of spam comments, um, you can actually edit the comments in WordPress. So you can, open up WordPress, click on comments, and then you can go and you can change their comment
Yeah,
to basically whatever you want it to be. And you can even do things like remove the link, like so, for their username, they probably use some like spammy anchor text, and then they're trying to link to like an inner page on their site or whatever, just getting a blog comment link. You can actually remove that. So, so you could actually just turn these comments around and write whatever you want to be on them, and boom, user generated content.
yeah. And I would go ahead and advise doing that. I mean, it's simple.
Yeah, I mean, you could even like put like keywords and stuff in there that you wanted to, give a little boost on your page if you wanted to.
Yeah, and in relevance to considering it spam, I'm guessing you're talking about the stuff we all see come in, for Viagra or things like that.
Or just even the stuff that's like, thank you, sir, for
Yeah,
this great information.
but
And then they link to like Joe's
yeah,
backdoor
whatever
plumbing
patio stuff.
service or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Yeah, it's probably a good indicator of the page being used. If you can beef it up and just make it more relevant to whatever, that page is supposed to be about, then it's probably good on you, honestly. Um,
Yeah, so I would just
so,
I'd probably just block most of them, or put them in trash or whatever, and then you could edit a few of them and remove the links even if you really wanted to.
yeah.
Or if one's kind of okay, you could just kind of let it slide and let them have the no follow link.
Yeah,
It's not the end of the world for you to let someone have a no follow
I,
link on a blog comment.
yeah, it's
As long
probably,
as you're not just like letting anything get approved automatically. You want to be approving your comments or else your blogs are just going to get completely spammed out by uh, basically people that have bots running just trying to get a ton of free blog comment links.
yeah. Yeah, and there's probably some factor in having niche relevant links coming to and from the page. So I mean, they're new, no follow. If they're going to something that's niche relevant but not a competitor, it's probably worthwhile to go ahead and let them have that no follow link. Just my personal opinion.
Yep, definitely won't hurt you. All right, let's see.
If you want to talk about that. White hat.
Is there a place you put new blog articles so that they have a higher chance of being picked up and receiving backlinks?
This is you love this stuff.
I don't love this stuff.
White hat. Well, I mean, so sure, yeah, there's always places that you can drop your links to kind of blow it out. It's going to depend on, what kind of content you're putting out there. So, we're talking about places like forums, that's spreadable. Places like social media, that's spreadable as well. And then if you've got blogs that, resonate with good traffic, or if you've done outreach campaigns, then use those to your advantage as well.
Yeah.
The white hat way of going about getting backlinks is essentially to make things go viral to some sort of extent. So think about the places that this shared information could be valuable to people, and you're going to have a higher percentage chance of getting that to resonate.
And yeah, you can use things, like Haro, help a reporter out. Yeah, to basically, or basically just doing outreach, doing outreach to related blogs and stuff that might be interested in the content you're providing. But if you're going about building links this way, you actually need to produce very good content.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like, oh, I spent 3 days writing this article. Like you need to it has to be special, right? If you think you're gonna go out and just put your article somewhere and people are gonna start linking to you, you're delusional unless you're actually providing something very good. It's 2021. You have people begging for backlinks everywhere. Like it doesn't matter what your website is. If you're ranking anywhere, people are begging to get links on your website every single day. And so if you're trying to get people to actually link to you organically, you need very good content. And so and what very good content is basically providing something new information, more up-to-date information, like an in-depth study, infographics. If you have you spend a couple $1,000s on some amazing infographic to really explain a topic or whatever.
Or put the time in.
Or yeah, like I said before, data studies with tons of charts and new information. You're actually contributing to the information that's online rather than kind of rewording something or making something slightly better or putting your own twist on it, right? It's got to be really, really good.
Or the right meme can go pretty far too.
Or the right meme, or there's other ways as well. For example,
yeah, it's thinking outside of the box with this stuff. Right?
For example, you could make a best SEO companies in Austin list, and then you could basically go on Google and find the top rankers in that list, and then reach out to them and be like, hey, we made this list of the top SEO companies in Austin. It'd be awesome if you could share this article, and it'd basically promote you to your clients and stuff, saying, look, these people rated us number 3 or whatever, number 1. Yeah, but basically, creating stuff that people would actually want to link to. Lists can be good, because it kind of helps them as well. But yeah, there's not really a place you can just put your articles and have them start picking up backlinks.
If you want to research what kind of stuff is maybe doing well, a good place to start might be Reddit.
And you can even use Reddit to get backlinks as well.
So see what's being, shared, what kind of information, depending on what niche you're in. I mean, it should all be something that you can kind of trace back through and learn something about.
All right. What is next? I think we've answered this one too many times.
Probably. You answered Eric's, right?
I did answer in the group. I guess we could go ahead and
may as well put it in the video. What's chat looking? Okay.
All right, so question about authors. Is the best way to set up a user as... Sorry, let me start over. I can't read. A question about authors. What is the best way to set up a user as author to improve EAT? I want the writer to show up as the author with a link to my site's author page. However, in WordPress, it asks for the writer or author's email address. Do agencies commit on thousands of backlinks? Or is this a different question?
Seems like a different question, right?
Okay, so yeah, we'll just stop it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wants to
Just
add an
delete that
author.
last part too, I guess. The email address.
Well, that's part of the question.
Okay.
However, in WordPress, it asks for the writer author's email address. Yeah, so the email address it's asking for in WordPress is the author's basically their WordPress email address, right? Because you can use your WordPress account to basically comment on many different blogs, and WordPress links it all together, kind of like its own social media network in a way, right?
You think it'd be too annoying to just show us adding an author? Maybe so.
I don't know what we'd have to. I don't know
Okay,
what we'd want to
yeah,
like block out if
block
we actually
out,
got into
true.
WordPress. Yeah, we'd have to kind of play around with because we haven't showed WordPress on stream yet.
Yeah, we should probably just get access to one of those PBN sites.
But yeah,
or
you know,
something.
you can add them as a contributor, and if it's an actual author, you can put in their email address. I mean, you could also set up a fake author like that if you wanted as well, right? You could make some like personality basically by creating a WordPress account with a new email address. Can't be one you've already used to set up a WordPress account, and make this whole like persona, right? And you could even have them posting on multiple different sites. Like if you have multiple different health sites, you could do that if you wanted to, or yeah, it just kind of depends what angle you're trying to hit it from.
You want to explain EAT a little bit just in case? I mean, I know we go over it every week.
Yeah, I mean, so EAT, so the as far as author, so EAT is expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. Authors would play into the T, which is trustworthiness, and I feel like out of all the EAT stuff, the authors thing is kind of like the easiest and like the least important of them. Um, Really, I feel
Well,
like EAT is all about serving up content that covers a topic fully and getting high authority backlinks.
yeah, but you'd still want, like, I feel like the author is still going to be something traceable.
But
Like,
yeah,
let's say
but
we're
it, but
talking
it's
about medical, right? Because
but
I
it's
think
so but it's
that's what
so
niche we're in.
easy. It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
You literally just set up an author page and
Yeah,
um,
ways to beef that up, right? Like it's like what Chris was talking about. If you've got a fake author that you want to create a persona for, cool. Create the social media that person would have revolving around them as well, or at least a little bit of it, right? And then that's going to beef up the overall authority of that persona online. We're beating Google crawlers, not having to beef out anything
yeah,
too
you
hard.
could get like really in depth with it if you really wanted to create like a persona. You could create like Facebook account for them, like a
hmm
Twitter account. I mean, yeah, you could
Yeah, by aged
you
accounts.
could have their own website.
hmm
But I've never gone that far. But I also don't operate generally in stuff that's like super EAT
So,
intensive, like medical
like
health related stuff.
even with like with an affiliate site, I always start off because I'm typically not the author on an affiliate site. I'm almost never the author. It's usually somebody made up, and one of the first things I do is I just set up an IFTTT for them. It's cheap. That's easy enough. And then whenever they post an article, that's going to syndicate, and then it's just going to make it more crawlable. So overall, it's just something I like to do. If you're creating personas, go ahead and spend that extra, 10, $20, and get yourself a link wheel.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna hop over to YouTube. We got a question. Who asked this? This is
Russian
Russian
Prince,
Prince.
nice. Okay.
All right. So I have a website now, 5 months old with 4 posts on it. What should I do next about it? I would say add more posts. Well, I mean, it really depends on like what exactly your website is, but in general, usually a 4-page website is not really sufficient. Like, what do you think would be like the smallest size of a website you could?
It's all gonna depend on competition, but I don't know a single thing that like you would go after just with 4 posts. So, you know, when I feel like when questions like this come up, it's sort of like the person has a sort of misunderstanding. And correct me if I'm wrong, and I apologize if I'm wrong. But the idea with an SEO campaign is that it's ongoing. So there's never a limit or an end to what you're beginning. Like you're continually adding content and you're continually trying to acquire backlinks in some way, shape, or form, or acquire press in some way, shape, or form. So, if you built out a website, you've maybe conceptualized that you've got really good keyword research done, and you're thinking to yourself, well, hasn't quite ranked yet, or it's not really getting much traction, when is that going to happen? The answer is more so that you need to continue along the path that you started. So keep on building, especially in the form of content. If you're not ready for backlinks yet. But the idea is, as you add this, if you're using something like Ahrefs, or if you've got your site in analytics, then you'll be able to see as, it starts to gain traffic and momentum in the SERPs. So yeah, 4 posts, we're talking about a very like an infant site.
So let me just in Paintbrush really quick. So let's say that here's your homepage, and let's say you have 5 very important articles. Each one of these articles has its own cluster of keywords that are your main money keywords, the most important keywords. I would say like 5 for a super small website. Yeah, maybe 5 different money pages.
Local, right?
5 different money pages would probably be about. Maybe you could have one with like 3 money pages, like 3 really important money pages.
I'm thinking if homepage is like roofing, right? And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like what, 1 geographic and then 3 roofing related,
let's just do
or something.
Affiliate, because it's kind of a little less. We'll just pretend it's an affiliate site. So your site's about dog toys or something. So, you have dog toy A, dog toy B, dog toy C, 5 different types of dog toys. Dog toys for big dogs, small dogs, I don't know, whatever. But then, so even if you have only 5 super important keywords or keyword clusters and money pages that you're going after, you're still going to want to create supporting content for each one of these, right? So, so if this one was dog toys for big dogs, I feel like this is not a good example.
Now that we're talking about it, though, I was thinking about it. I'm like, the Dot Beasts example, which was a 5-page affiliate website that was sold for like 500 grand or something, was really a famous case study maybe 4 years ago or something like that. I haven't seen anything like that happen since then. I think it'd be really hard to rank an affiliate site just off 4 posts and a homepage.
Well, let me finish this since my brain's not really working. Sorry. I'll just use our own, our main websites for Links a Lot as an example. So, let's say that this is our guest posts product page. This is one of our very important pages where people actually buy one of our services, guest posts. So, you don't just want the one article that's ranking for guest post service, all that stuff. You want to actually have supporting content. Maybe you have 4 or 5 different articles, something about guest posts. Are guest posts good for SEO? Guest posts for niche edits. How to find quality guest posts. Are guest posts useful in 2021? Can I get a penalty using guest posts?
And so feel free to steal that and rank for guest posts.
And these will all, link to your main super important page. And they also will rank for their own keywords as well, right? So even if you have like your 4 super important blog posts, you need to go and create supporting content for them, and that'll beef your site up quite a bit bigger. But my guess is that it's possible that you just have just gotten started, and your site's probably going to have a lot more than 4 posts. And so keep doing content. And you can get started on your initial link building as well. Go back over here. So on our website, links that we like to build in the very beginning are what we call pillow links, and we sell packs of them. You don't have to buy them from us. You can also create stuff like this yourself. They're usually free to create. It just takes a good amount of time to create a bunch of them. So, so these are like super white hat types of links, and you don't have to worry about building them in the very beginning. Like your site only has 4 pages. It's been around for 5 months, but the site basically is at the very beginning of the process, right? If you've done 4 articles and nothing else, it's a baby site. So, you can build a bunch of super white hat stuff in the beginning to kind of lay the link building foundation, citations, niche directories, forum profiles, social profiles, Web 2.0s, social signals. There's a bunch of, you could even do stuff like blog comments. There's a bunch of different kind of stuff you can get in the beginning, and just send them to your homepage with supernatural anchors, branded anchors, URL anchors, generic anchors, like click here. And so this will start to kind of lay the foundation as you continue to build new content, right? Just keep writing more content, write supporting content for your important content, get your link building foundation started, and then after you get the foundation started, and maybe it's, you've got that going for a while and you're writing more content, you can start slowly linking to your homepage with stuff like guest posts or niche edits. You probably still want to keep going to the homepage with natural anchors, branded URL, generic anchors. You're at the very beginning of the journey, right? So keep doing content, get your foundational links, and then start slowly adding your more powerful links. But you want to probably keep the content going.
Yeah, that's good. No, I'm just, if you are writing this content yourself or anything, as maybe happens, 4 posts in 5 months, and you're on a budget or something like that, like Chris said, you can go out and start getting these links on your own.
It says, thanks, I'll add up another 6 to 7 articles and buy the pillow links from you guys.
That works too.
Yeah, good. Yeah, just keep that content coming. The more the better, really.
Right. Remember, it's all an ongoing campaign. So, we think about it in monthly. Every month we've got a new budget for content, new budget for backlinks, right? Just depending on, the cycle of your site or the cycle of your budget, try and create something that's sustainable.
Yeah. And, you can keep it consistent as well. You don't have to do 6 or 7 articles and then just stop. You can, keep that content coming over time. Google likes to see websites that are continually being worked on, improved, or growing. They don't like to see stuff that just, here, I wrote 200 articles for this website and boom, I finished them in January of last year, and now it's just sitting there for 2 years, but it's got 200 articles. That's a lot. But you want to Google likes to see websites that are growing. They're being updated. They're keeping their information relevant and new and helpful. So just keep it steady over time. Same with links. Let's see.
That's not a question. But the next one, I guess, is.
So we'll just answer this one, but we'll just answer it quick.
Is it? I didn't think it was a question.
I think it's funny. Where I get very professional web design, not those on Fiverr. Well, your website needs a color change. I like the color of our website. It shocks you, right?
It's bright.
It's energetic, green power, green energy. It's like what's that soda they used to sell in the 90s? Surge. Yeah,
I was watching something about
here. I don't know if you guys remember Surge.
That was like, Mountain Dew on steroids for poor kids.
Yeah, this stuff. You know, like in the 90s, they probably like made it illegal
I
or
want to say they
something.
wanted to bring it back or something. Either way, Surge, we're looking for sponsors. If you want to sponsor, I'll drink that stuff right here.
I can't even remember what it tasted like.
Sweeter Mountain Dew, if I remember right.
Mountain Dew with more sugar.
Yeah, you can just look at it and tell it's not going to be healthy for you.
The 90s were so cool. I really like that whole vibe.
Mm.
And speaking of 90s and lime green, there's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Okay. I don't know if anyone's interested, but looks kind of cool.
It does look pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. Looks fun.
And yeah, we're not sponsored by Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
but
so where to get good website design depends on what kind of site you're looking for, but we build local sites and we have samples on that page, and I think we're going to release an affiliate version here pretty soon.
yeah, it really depends what you're talking about with professional web design. You know, there's a bunch of services where like for example our lead gen sites, you know, we basically use Divi to design sites, and they can have a ton of different looks and feels. But you know, if you want something like more like custom or whatever, it can really like add up. So it
Yeah.
really depends like what you mean by professional web design, and like how what do you consider like high quality, right? Because there should be a good amount of services where you could get stuff for not too expensive. You know,
You-
that'll look pretty okay.
If you've got like an ongoing thing, then I would think you want to hire somebody that's going to do, at least X amount of work for you on a weekly or monthly basis. Good place to find somebody for that would be Upwork.com. You can put the feelers out depending on your budget and find people with resumes and
Yeah, or like, you know,
proof of
find like
concept.
you can use Upwork, or, you know, find a VA somewhere else. You can even find VAs like in Facebook groups and
Mhm.
stuff. And yeah, you know, the best bet would be to, you know, if you're going to be doing this stuff for a while, would be to kind of develop a relationship with somebody where you get used to each other's work processes, and you know how they work, they know what you want, and that kind of thing. Um,
Now, also, in regards to this question, we're an SEO based company, right? So we're kind of function over form. I mean, like,
that's true.
what matters to us is what's happening on the back end, how crawlable the site is. Is it good for our positions in the SERPs or not? Design is, of course, important, right? But in regards of like you're just getting started out, web designers are a dime a dozen, and they sell themselves as, the most beautiful design, like, maybe click through rate if they're even somewhat technical. But majority of these designers don't understand, how to make something friendly for SEO.
So he says he wants a website like Kayak. All right.
WordPress news theme site, maybe, or
I mean, they do like flights and stuff. It's like a travel site.
gotcha. The name of his.
Do you know as far
Okay.
are there like pre-made like kind of
There's got
templates
to
or
be.
builders for this kind of
There's
thing?
probably a plugin or something. Or well, so type in. It'd be like an IDX for a real estate website, which shows all the homes available in a specific market.
Yeah.
So this would be some sort of airline API. If you type that into Google, you'll probably find some that you can gain access to. I don't know how much custom coding is going to be
But yeah,
needed,
the
but
website itself.
when we're talking about a site like Kayak too, you're talking about it. This isn't a WordPress site,
Yeah,
right? This is not a simple design. This is all they have venture capital, and the type of coders that you get with that are top tier,
this is not like
people
something like,
custom
hey,
coding
can someone
things.
on Fiverr build me
Right.
Kayak?
I've got
this is like
20 bucks an hour.
a massive undertaking.
I need Kayak. No, there's a reason that this is, the company that it is. Otherwise, everybody'd be installing a WordPress plugin and fighting over that territory. So, yeah. I'd like to tell you that it'd be as simple as like getting the right WordPress plugin. But yeah, if that is what you're really working on, then you're going to want to look for a Flight API or something like that, then you'd be able to create something completely custom with.
I'm not really going to go into depth in this question. I mean, you can see all of our pricing on our website, man. Just go to the PBN setups page.
What is the question?
I'm just asking for our PBN prices and stuff.
Gotcha.
Just go to the PBN page here, PBN building service. Scroll down. You can view live demos right here. Just click see the live demo. We've got a few different ones on here. But it's not limited to this. These are actually kind of old as well.
I was about to say, like, they're pretty old. Our new PBNs look more like guest posts, really.
We'll put that on the to-do list to update. But yeah, the ones we make now actually look quite a bit better than what you see here. But you can just scroll through, click the live demos, and then pricing's right here. They're $39, super cheap. There's some like add-ons you can do if you want to rebuild more pages or whatever.
I feel like our PBNs, are better than 90% of the guest post link farms that I get when I'm ordering off Fiverr or something like that to spam an asset.
Our PBN builds actually look really good these days, and we should definitely put that on the to-do list. We should probably update those demos.
Gotta update a few things probably. I've been staying busy. Hey Yaniv, welcome back. Or I don't know if he's the same guy from last week.
Yeah, cheap flights. You actually, I'm gonna
go ahead and throw that up.
I have a website that ranks very high on Google, but visitors do not book because WordPress looks so ugly. Yeah, so this is a problem that a lot of SEOs have, and Nick was actually just talking about a minute ago, is we are function over form, meaning that we're primarily link builders. Link building is our specialty, and so what we excel at is ranking the site. That's what SEO is really all about. Anything more than that, you kind of start getting into other forms of digital marketing, and you need these forms of digital marketing as well if you plan on actually making money with a website rather than maybe a client's paying you just to rank it, and that's fine. You could just rank it for them, and you did your job depending on your agreement with the client or whatever. But yeah, I mean, so once you start talking about your website being ugly and no one's buying anything, it's because they don't trust your website, right? So this would be CRO, conversion rate optimization. And so, you're going to have to, if you actually want to make sales, your content needs to be good. Your site needs to be passable. It needs to look kind of in line with other things in your industry, right? For example, if you're selling flights, like if you're selling flights online, your website needs to look about as good as other flight websites. If these other flight websites look really nice and clean and they're easy to use, and then you come to your website and it's just some horrible, ugly, $20 website that you got on Fiverr or whatever, people aren't going to buy. I mean, you might get a sale every now and then, but
the beautiful thing is the hard part would be over, in my opinion. So it's ranking, it's got traffic. Cool. Hire a designer that's good with WordPress. You like their work, kind of, have looked through their portfolio of what they've done, and work with a designer closely to get it looking like something that, you yourself would buy. Because like you said, if this is something about flights, especially, you want to be able to trust where you're buying that ticket from, or
and
the conceptualization.
And just for like a little bit more of a positive spin on this, what your situation is not abnormal or bad at all. This happens to a lot of SEOs. This is the process they go through, and many actually do this on purpose, where they'll basically build a really crappy, cheap website with not great content, and it's just barely passable, and they'll focus all their time and energy on ranking it first. And then once they can get it to rank, because they were unsure if they would be able to get it to rank, what positions they would actually be able to get it to, and they didn't want to invest too much time and money into the other stuff before they could prove that they could actually rank it. So yeah, they rank it first, and then you start basically refining the edges, making it look nicer, setting it up to convert better, stuff like that. Yeah, so don't it's not the end of the world, but yeah, you're definitely gonna want to work on it if you want to make some sales. Anything outside of that?
No, that's basically it.
All right, let's go to the next one. Yaniv. Got Travis. We'll get to you as well, Travis. I'm clicking. Here we go. Hey guys, can you give an outline of a link building campaign from start to ranked? Nick is actually Nick.
Do we even want to mention that?
Nick, what's
I've been
going
working
on?
on just a ground up SEO case study for a while now, but
You guys really need to start bothering Nick, make posts in our Facebook group Nick, you said you've been working on this case study for a year now. Where is it?
Then I get somebody to edit it. They tell me it's too long, I'm too wordy, and then I try and break it down. It's just, I'm not set up too well for business writing, but I'll get it done. I'll pass it out, and then, we'll see. But in the meantime, I would say, it's not ground up, but Chris put up a case study not long ago that's definitely worth looking at because it's got at least a few months of backlinking. It is a backlinking case study, so, it doesn't go into on-page or anything like that.
I actually can't remember. What did the site start with? How many links did it start with?
That I'm not sure. It might say it somewhere now.
Okay, it was almost at the beginning. It only started with 26 referring domains, 26 links from unique websites.
And then I think 26 pages, right? No. 15 pages.
15 pages. So it was
a
actually
new
a really
site.
small site. 15 pages and only had 26 referring domains. So you can find this on our website. I'll go ahead and drop a link in the description. There you go. And this one, this one was an exact match domain, and we just we hammered it with a lot of URL and branded anchors basically, and ranked the crap out of it. It just really shot up. Where's the final rank graph?
Yeah, the cool thing about this too was, we were fighting out .gov sites and things of that nature.
Here's the final rank graph. So basically, it was shot up to page 1 out of nowhere. And yeah, this case study really outlines exactly what we were doing. It goes month by month basically. People in our managed link building program, it's a monthly link building service, and so it goes. So here's our proposed strategy. So here's month 1, and so basically it's saying here's what we wanted to do in month 1. Here are the exact packages that we used. And then here are the exact links for each package that we used, along with what the target was and what the anchor text we used was. And of course, we don't show you the exact target and the exact anchor, but stuff like URL anchor, branded anchor, generic anchor. And then we show you the results from month 1, and then our plan for month 2, the packages we used, the targets, the anchors for, on and on and on. So this one was a 4-month case study. So yeah, that one might be able to help you out.
Now, I know there's going to be some of you out there that just skip straight to the link building and you're like, I'm copying these. It explains why we picked those specific things, right? And every link building campaign is unique to the asset that you're targeting. So, think dynamically, not just following the herd here.
Yeah, in general, let's go back to Paint. So you know, um, so month one, um, just we'll just pretend you don't know much about link building and you're building pretty conservatively, right? So month one, you're gonna do stuff like pillow links. Um, Pillow links are stuff like Web 2.0, citations, directories, maybe some blog comments, um, Q&A links, YouTube links, social profiles, forum links, just a bunch of stuff like that. There's stuff that you can create yourself for free. And it's basically you're just kind of setting the foundation. So, month one, you can just do that. Then month two, you'll probably lay off the pillow links and you'll start slowly sending some stuff like a guest post to the home page with natural anchors, branded anchors, URL anchors, generic anchors. Maybe send, 4 or 5 guest posts this month or niche edits, whatever, all to your homepage with natural anchors. Then, maybe month three, maybe you send, I don't know, maybe you send 10 or something. And then maybe 2 of them you send to an inner page, right? And you're still doing natural anchors at this time. And basically, as time goes on, you can increase the amount of links you're building. You can increase the amount that you're sending to inner pages, and you can increase the amount that you're using more aggressive anchor text with, like your money anchors, right? But yeah, you still want to keep building to your homepage as well with natural anchors, even though you move on to more targeted stuff. That's just kind of a general plan. If you look at the case study that I showed you, it'll go over this stuff as well. But yeah, also look up for Nick's case study coming soon. We really need to just get an article written on this to outline
Yeah,
building links to a new site
yeah, for sure.
with like numbers and stuff to just kind of a blueprint.
Yeah, we could do that. It's just, yeah.
But yeah, check out the case study for now. See what else we got. Let's go answer Travis. Do you guys have any rank and rent sites? What do you think of the rank and rent model? I do not. I think Nick.
Yeah, I do. I've had them forever, and actually last week was the first time that I heard. Well, I hate the rank to rent model. I think and I remember it when I first started in SEO. I thought that was the bee's knees. It sounded awesome because you already have proven rankings, right? How hard could it be to rent that out? Well, the fact of the matter is, rank to rent, you're typically dealing with service providers, local small businesses. It's easier, you'd have to trust me on this one. It's easier to deal with learning the sales technique to find the people, the business owners that want to spend money to own those rankings versus finding people that don't understand what it is, they don't understand why it matters, and you're looking to rent them out a site that they're not even sure if they need. Now, mind you, it can be done, but I think there's not as many people that succeed at it as you would think. And then in turn, you've got all these assets that, it takes money to rank them, and I think it'd be better served going after something like affiliate. Now, mind you, you can find affiliate programs for like pay per calls, things like that, and that might work for you. But especially now that you can't get GMBs as easily as you could before, I would say the rank to rent model isn't your best bet. Now, like I said, I've got a handful of them, or probably more than a handful, that I created within the first 2 years of me starting in SEO, thinking it was a really good business model, and I've never really done well with them. They were never something that I saw like a lot of profits from, or that it seemed like it was going to be worthwhile to invest much more time in them. I've even still got a roofing website that I've given to a buddy who only last week told me, he's got some kind of deal going with a roofer, but that's how far out of sight and out of mind any of those are. I don't really enjoy client work too much in general anymore, but I would definitely rather work with a client who knows what they want, or at least has an idea of why SEO is valuable to them and wants to build their own traction in the SERPs versus dealing with people that aren't going to understand it as well. So that's just my 2 cents.
Cool. Since 2015, I was doing everything myself. It's so hard and sad.
That was the flights website we were talking about earlier.
You know, if SEO was easy, if people could just, well, you've been doing it for a while now, 2015. But if you want, or maybe you're just talking about your website designing. I don't really know what you're talking about here, but everything is its own skill. Everything takes time to learn. Nothing is quite as easy as people make it out to seem. It's going to take some time, no matter what it is, to really to learn it. Or it even takes time and money and effort finding someone you can outsource particular jobs to, right? Which that's its own skill. And to be able to do that, you also have to be able to audit the work in a way. So you need to have some kind of knowledge about it as well. You wouldn't believe how many people we get wanting to join our MLB program or whatever, or just having questions about their site that they're paying thousands of dollars a month, and they have no real way to audit the work that's being done. Maybe they think their previous SEO agency or link builders were bad, but a lot of the times the problem is their own making, right?
Right.
So they might even have like some people doing good work for them, and they're the ones that actually messed it all up because they read something somewhere and that thing told them, or someone else that gave them bad advice or whatever. So I wish I could give you a more positive answer here, but at the end of the day, you need to have a kind of a grasp on what you're paying people to do. And if you're doing it yourself, you're really going to have to put in some time and, perfect the craft.
Well, I'll see it as an advantage. The most stressful time in my entire life comes down to getting SEO to work as a business model for myself. And I'm saying, like, I've done all sorts of different things that were stressful, but entrepreneurship and SEO were the most stressful. And that's because I, like you, started ground up. And the stress is through the roof when there's so much conflicting ideology on what's going to work. And so you become a scientist, basically finding somewhere that you can trust at least a little bit of this information, and then you're going to end up spending resources in the form of time and money into these assets that you're going to learn from. See that as an advantage, because one of my favorite quotes from another SEO that, was one of the first that I started learning from was Stephen Floyd, and he said, he was big on it. You have to be able to inspect what you expect, right?
I have that burned in my head too.
We know countless people that reach out to us that cannot do any of that. They're ordering backlinks, but they have no idea how to audit backlinks, what they do. It's just like this very entry-level kind of ideology into what, and so that's a different business model. If you're serious about building your company, you should take pride in the fact that you know all the inner workings from the ground up of what's going to make it work. And when you get to a position where that recipe really works for you and you can trust it and you can confide in it, that's an education that you can't get anywhere else. And it comes with a lot of stress, a lot of hard-earned stress that is going to take you further once you do learn how to make this work for you. So rather than saying, I've got to do it all myself, I remember one of my business partners that I got started with, we tried this psychological game for a while. It didn't last, but I could see it working, where we would just say, oh, we get to do this. today. And it was such bullshit because we would sit there and just like laugh like, hey, we get to do it today, and like it's hard. Yeah, I get to build. Yeah, just I get to write content today. Oh, happy times, But if you really work hard at that and you understand why it's of value, then you're going to take more pride in being able to do it and being able to do it correctly. Because everything you do, every foot forward that you take, is going to make you that much more of a skilled person, that much more of a skilled professional. So take pride in the fact that you're able to do the hard work that's going to get you where you want to be eventually.
Yeah, and like you're building your skill set basically. So yeah, it's hard, it's stressful, but at the same time, you're really increasing your worth, right? In the industry. Um, yeah, I don't really have much more to say other than that.
Yeah, you're doing good, and pat yourself on the back.
All right, so is an orphan page on a strong domain for a guest post worth getting and build links to it, or should it be avoided? I think Nick and I are going to have slightly different answers on this one. I already know what Nick's answer is going to be.
Well, an orphan page is just going to be a page that doesn't exist that used to have historical backlinks going to it, right?
Yeah, what do you mean by orphan page? I take orphan page to mean a page that is not being linked to by anywhere on the website. There's no way to navigate to it on the guest post site. Like it's not on their blog. There's no internal links going to it. It's just a URL that exists somewhere on the site, right? Let's go ahead. I'm pretty sure that's what it means.
Okay, if it's that, then I'm gonna say if you can get it for the right price, then yeah, sure. And you've looked it up in Ahrefs and you've audited it and it looks like it's in good health, etc. Then yeah, it's worth getting, because ultimately what's getting crawled is the sitemap. And so yeah, it's going to resonate that there's no inner links going there, but it's still something that's going to show up possibly in SERP somewhere for something. So it's not completely voided, but if you could hypothetically get this orphan page link, or one that has some connectability via menus or inner links, then you'd want the one with the inner links. But it's all going to depend on your price point and whether it seems worth it.
Yeah, I would definitely say it decreases the worth of the link. And just to contradict what Nick said a little bit, there's a reason why internal linking, like, if you have a website and you're building internal links, there's a reason why site structure and internal links are a thing for SEO. It benefits any page that you're building internal links to are going to benefit from it. It helps Google understand, what's important on your website. It helps Google understand what certain pages are about. So if you have pages that only really exist on the sitemap and you can't really navigate to them anywhere on the site, I would say it would definitely decrease the value of it, at least. I'm not saying that a link from that kind of thing would be worthless. It's just not something I would really pursue it would take it down a couple notches as far as like how I would view a link from that website if they're just going to be from an orphaned post.
Yeah, not ideal, but for the price.
But I've also not done like heavy testing with this stuff, and I don't think you really have either. But I mean, yeah. So like, it could be something you could kind of do a little experiment with yourself. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't want to pay like full price for it. Kind of maybe keep your options open, or it just depends what it is really. Anything else?
No.
All right. All right. I think we're gonna go ahead and call it there, guys. We're a little bit over time. We went about 10 minutes over. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for coming out and asking questions. Hopefully we helped some of you guys out. Of course, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll see you next week. Same time, same place, Wednesday, 12 p.m. Central Yeah, thanks for showing up.
Kisses and hugs.
Kisses and hugs.